Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Regina. I am on a weight loss journey to lose 100 pounds. I need to lose it in order to get knee surgery so I can walk again. I have lost 25 pounds since I started in May, and I've been doing that by cooking my meals, keeping track of my calories in MyFitnessPal, and trying to get a little exercise here and there. Every Tuesday I do a cooking video for you guys because I love to cook, number one. And number two, I think it's helpful for people to see that you can eat a varied diet. You just have to watch how you cook and how you make things. I am trying to lower my sodium. That's very important for me because I have high blood pressure. And as a diabetic, it's not good for me to eat a lot of sodium. So with that said, the first recipe that I made was Middle Eastern chicken with chicken thighs and some turmeric and some Middle Eastern spices over top of some jasmine rice. It was really good. It was a little bit high in sodium at about 804 grams. The carbs on that were around 30 and the protein was 27. So that was a good meal. I thought I was very satisfied with it and felt full. The second meal that I made this week was from my cooking book, which I love, and I would highly recommend this if you're a diabetic and you like to cook. It's called The America's Test Kitchen, the Complete Diabetic Cookbook. And inside this book, they had an amazing recipe called shredded beef tacos. Basically, you were taking meat and you were putting it in a crock pot and not putting any salt or anything on it. No chicken broth, nothing like that. We used cinnamon, or the author used cinnamon and cilantro, lime, etc. to give it a nice flavor profile, and it was really good. It had a accompanying slaw that had carrots and was supposed to have Napa Cabbage, but I couldn't find it. I did find it at one store. It was $8 for a head of Napa Cabbage, so there was no way I was going to be doing that. So I used red cabbage instead, and it turned out delicious, and that's definitely going to be on my repertoire. That had a really low sodium count of only 500, and there was also cheese involved in it. There was some feta cheese, and so all of that was only 500 calories. It was 39 grams of protein, which is amazing, and the carbs are low. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the recipes. To begin with, let's start with the Middle Eastern chicken and jasmine rice. This is just an overview of all the ingredients that you're going to need for this. You're definitely going to need some white wine, some rice, spices, chicken thighs, and some lemon juice. I'm going to go ahead and put the recipe in the description of this video. Okay, to begin with, this recipe has two parts. The first part is to gather all of your spices to marinate your chicken. So you're going to need 3 tablespoons of lemon juice, 1 tablespoon of white vinegar, 1 teaspoon of turmeric, 1 teaspoon of curry, 1 teaspoon of cumin, 2 teaspoons of oregano, 1/2 teaspoon of cardamom, 1/8 of a teaspoon of nutmeg, 1 teaspoon of garlic cloves, minced, 1/2 teaspoon of salt, and 1/2 teaspoon of pepper. You're going to need 1 3/4 pound of chicken thighs, boneless and skinless. I put your spices in a large bowl, mix them together with the lemon juice, then put your chicken thighs into the spice mixture and, mix them with your hands, or you can take a spoon or whatnot to get them all evenly coated. Then put them in the refrigerator topped with plastic wrap and keep them in there for a minimum of 2 hours. Okay, so this is the chicken. Like I said, you're going to brown it on each side for 3 minutes until it gets that nice crust. This is called minute rice. I basically boil the water, put the rice in, let it cook for a minute, put the top on, set it aside, and it cooked within 5 minutes. It was really good and delicious. So the next step was to take the tomatoes, the onions, the spices, and the wine and 2 tablespoons of oil, put them in a pot with the rice and stir them together, put my chicken on top, then put the chicken into the oven for 30 minutes. So this is the final product. It turned out really good and it was delicious. It didn't last until the next day, so I know that's a sign that everyone liked it. Beef tacos with cabbage. I really like this recipe because it was low in sodium and had lots of good flavor to it. This recipe, you're going to need a crock pot. This recipe, you're going to need 1 ounce of dried ancho chiles, stemmed, seeded, and make sure that the seeds are out because they're very hot. I bought mine online at Amazon. I know you can get them at Whole Foods here in the United States, but I had a hard time finding them at my local grocery store. Next, you're going to need 1/2 of an onion. You're going to want to dice that into small pieces. Then you're going to need 3 garlic cloves minced into small pieces. You'll need 1 tablespoon of no salt added tomato paste. You will need 1 teaspoon of chipotle peppers and adobe sauce, 1 teaspoon of canola oil, 1/2 teaspoon of ground cinnamon, and then followed by 3/4 cup of water. Okay, so you're going to take your onion, your ancho chili, your garlic cloves, your tomato paste, your canola oil, and your cinnamon and adobe chili peppers. You're going to place them on high in the microwave for 5 minutes. Take it out, let it rest. Then put the 2 pounds of chuck roast together with your water in a crock pot. Either put it on a high setting or on low for 3 to 4 hours. On the high setting for 3 to 4 hours, or the low setting for 7 to 8 hours. Take your beef out of the crock pot after the time is allotted. Shred it into small pieces. And then you're going to take the remainder of the juice inside the crock pot, put it in a blender and blend it up. Next, you're going to take the sauce that you just made and put it onto your beef, 1 cup of it. Then you're going to make the slaw. You need to take a cabbage, 1/4 of it, cut it into small pieces, along with some shredded carrots and some cilantro and lime juice. Then you're going to take your feta cheese and put that aside. Take out 12 tortillas, toast them on either in the oven or on top of the stovetop in a pan. Then put your toppings on, your meat, your slaw, and your cheese. This is a really delicious recipe. It was low sodium, it was very flavorful, and it'll definitely make this again.